obesity. Guys, we just finished. We were actually so cringe.
We're still cringe a bit though.
No, I think we've learned from the cringiness.
But I don't know, it's part of the process.
No,
like,
there's
so many things I feel like I'm going to watch back later. And I'm
just like, oh, yeah. Bienvenido a un nuevo episodio de Las Primeras Chicas podcast. Yo soy Jen.
You're so Favour.
Yes, come on.
What does that mean? My name's Favour.
You are Favour.
I am Favour. Oh, cool.
¿Cómo ha pasado? No, wait, rewind. ¿Cómo ha pasado tu semana?
Semana espat. Wait.
You're close.
Can you relax so we actually speak the language?
Go on. I'm not looking at you, no pressure.
Okay.
No pressure.
Tomás español. ¿Cómo estás?
A true Spanish babe.
Honestly, it's not true. It's so natural, man.
Hi guys, welcome to a brand new episode. We are episode 4?
Yeah, season 2.
Already.
Mm-hmm.
Like actually already.
Time is flying.
It's flying.
So
Next you know
quick.
we episode 10, episode 15.
Episode 100.
Whoa.
Because if we add it all together, it probably would be...
Yeah, it would get very close.
Yeah, reaching that number.
Wow, anyway, how's your week been, Favour?
My week has been the same. How's your week?
No, Favour, I feel like, can you, at least take out one thing from your week that you thought, yeah.
Oh, the fact that I had a break. From working.
She had to fight for this break.
Yeah.
That's
do you know what's so crazy? I was like, I feel so happy today.
Yeah.
And I went to the kitchen, I was like, why am I feeling so happy? I was like, oh,
yes,
I'm not working.
Yeah.
Nah, man, stress is too much. They can't kill me. I'm too young.
No, it's true.
I said I went to work for money, but not die for money.
No, that's
so if I don't want to do it, I don't want to do it. Come on, beat me in my house. I'm not doing it, man.
Exactly.
I'm not doing
You
it.
tell them.
It's too much. Like, and I feel like sometimes it's almost like you're a number, and you can tell that you are. It's like if you don't do certain things, it's like wait, hold on. I'm a human with emotions, and I can only do with my human abilities. So relax, man. I'm not a robot.
That's true. That's true.
My week has been amazing because I had a break.
That's good.
What about you?
I was waiting for you to answer the question.
Okay.
You asked it 3 seconds late, but I forgive you.
Okay. Jen.
You know what? It's been a great week for me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't lie. I feel like last week was a very emotional week for me. I was actually listening to a podcast by, what's her name? Is it Stephanie Ike or Ike or Ike? How do you say her name?
I don't even know who you're talking about.
She's like pastor from America. She's light skinned, very pretty, very beautiful. Stephanie, and she okay, anyway, I'm gonna call her Stephanie Ike. So basically, she's got a podcast with I don't know if she alternates the people that are on it, but in the one that I was watching, they were talking about discerning your emotions, like discerning between your emotions and like the voice of God. So not allowing yourself to be led by your emotions, and when you do feel whatever emotions that you feel, making sure that you are subjective to God about those emotions. And I feel like it really spoke to me in regards to last week, because I feel like I was basing my reaction and my emotions on what I could physically see, and that was obviously affecting me. And then based on my emotions, my mind was going everywhere. The way I was reacting to things, it was just very negative, and I was having so much doubt and negativity and like a lack of faith in me, which I honestly felt like really bad about, and I just repented towards the end of the week. But that really put things into perspective for me in terms of the season that I'm in and how I'm reacting to it with my emotions. And it's not to say that I'm not allowed to feel things, but it's like if I'm feeling, a very extreme emotion of like anything negative or positive, it's like, okay, I can feel it, but now let me go to God to it, because if I then go to God, he can then lead me into how I can handle the situation and things like that.
Yeah, I feel like that shows a lot of strength, because having emotions is natural. Like, we all have emotions.
Yeah.
But to be able to understand your emotions and acknowledge that this is an emotional response, that's strength.
Yeah.
Because sometimes a lot of things that happen is like, oh, it's not me, it's just things happening to me. But most times it's really how you respond to things
exactly
that actually makes a difference. Like, things happen all the time. You don't have control over life itself and what happens on a daily basis, but your response is something you have a control over. And
100%.
most times your response is highly linked to emotions. And it's not always bad, because you need emotions to survive.
Yeah,
but then,
of course, yeah.
if you don't have control over it, then it controls you, and then the outcome is never the best. So the fact that you acknowledge that is amazing. That's actually, I love that. I love that for you.
Yeah, and so it's been a positive week. I feel like, because I've been fasting from the world this week, basically.
Oh yeah, Jen said everyone bye, Bon you. I don't want to see you no more.
No, literally.
I have to send letters to get through to Jen. I sent a postman to be like, hi Jen, because I didn't see Jen. Jen doesn't exist. Everything said bye, but it doesn't make sense how you knew about the Instagram post.
The Instagram.
Yeah, you told me about the Instagram post before.
Because when you were messaging me, I'd said, let me check and see what the responses are.
Oh, okay.
And then all of that
So you
stuff.
came back to the world for like a split second.
Literally, I've been coming back to the world for about 5 minutes and then I leave, because I feel like, you know what, guys? I feel like every week I'm just giving testimony upon testimony every week that we're on here. I just feel like when you realize emotions and all of that stuff, and then you're intentional with how you want your relationship with God to be, the way he just reveals things to you, and the calm and peace. Like, guys, I have, you know, I don't even want to get into it too much, but let me just say that God is good
all the time.
What
happened?
I don't want to go no, it's not even anything major.
No, we need to start. Do you know what I realised? We actually need to start sharing testimonies, because you don't know who's listening, and who might be inspired by what your story is. I'm going to share mine in due time, because I have things I want to share, but not now.
Right.
But I would definitely share. But if you have anything you want to share, I think you should definitely go for it.
I think something that at the start of the week, and I kid you not, you know, when I sent you that voice note about the interview, this literally happened straight after, because I was still in a what's it called, in a environment of like prayer.
Yeah.
And because, guys, when I tell you, this season that I'm in, it's been happening since November, December. When I say I'm tired, I'm actually tired. Like, I'm exhausted. I'm ready to go to sleep. That's how tired I am. And I was kind of feeling that emotion, and then God just said to me, I wrote it down. I didn't even have my notebook. I don't know why I'm looking. But he basically said that he knows. I feel like crying now. Oh my God, no, I'm going to cry.
Is this the first emotional tears?
No, I shall not allow it to be.
Man.
I'm not going to cry.
Jen is a very emotional person.
I'm not going to cry on camera.
I can really see the tears.
This was not the plan.
No, man. Go for it, man.
No, basically, he said that... oh God, I don't want to get emotional. This is embarrassing. This is...
Emotions are not embarrassing.
Yeah, but I don't want the world to see. Gosh. He basically said that... I'm trying to remember. He basically said that he knows how hard it's been for me. He understands. He sees me. He hears me. And throughout everything, he's been with me. And there's a reason why I've been going through this. And it's been a way of preparing me for the new season, because if everything that has happened to me has not happened, then I would not be prepared for what's to come. Like, I've had to experience things and develop a mindset and develop things physically in order for me to receive what I'm about to receive. And he said that it's gonna end very, very soon. I just need to I remember the last thing was to keep going. He just said to me, keep going. So that has really encouraged me this week. And then obviously I've been fasting. I've been very, very intentional in what I've been consuming, making sure that it's like the word of God coming from the right people, not just anything.
Yeah, that's good.
So yes, I've been very intentional with that. And, you know, especially like today and yesterday, when I've been in times of prayer, God has really comforted me. He's really, you know, just like instilled strength and peace in me. And yeah, man, we'll just see what happens in the next couple of days, weeks, hours. We'll just see.
And what's so beautiful about that is sometimes you may not even see it, but you're literally growing.
Yeah.
Because you don't really grow in times of when you're comfortable. Like, even there's this example that I love that I've heard before, is like when you're trying to like refine gold, you need to put it in the fire and it to mold it to what you want it to be. And it's almost like of course the situation is obviously not ideal, but like, how do you, when you see things in your life and you're able to overcome them easier, it's because you've gone through something that was similar to that before, that your resistance and your ability to overcome it is getting better. The more, obviously, I don't want to go through stressful, but I know that the more you go through, the easier it becomes for you to just navigate through life and have a better response. Especially if you're very, very in touch with, you're present in the situation. Like, if you're very much aware that something's happening to you. Sometimes people go through things and they don't actually know anything's happening. But
they just
it's like they're very overwhelmed, but they're not really sure of what's overwhelming them. But you know exactly your source. You know, this is what's the issue. This is it. You're able to acknowledge that this is the problem, and I'm gonna get through this. So amazing. I love it. Growth. We love this new gen.
Yay! I didn't want to cry, but bloody hell.
Why are you trying to pretend? You don't cry for everything.
No, I literally cry for everything.
I'll never forget sixth form time.
Everybody's sixth form.
Let me tell you guys. So like, we were at the chapel because we went to a Catholic school, girls' school. You don't even know the story.
No, I don't.
So we both went to a girls' Catholic school. Yeah. And we had like a final mass day, and people were getting emotional, but there was a girl, I don't know who was singing, but people were kind of getting emotional, but no one was really crying. Next thing I saw, because we're both in different classes, we call it forms. Yeah. I looked and saw Jen just literally, like, not crying, no, like, this girl was in full-on tears, like, howling, like, I said, I don't know this girl. Why is it only you? And people are doing this, like, you think someone died, everyone was trying to comfort her. I looked at her, I was like, why are you the only person crying like this? And the way you're crying with so much energy, like, it's like something really happened, nothing happened. We're gonna see each other again. Most of the people that we're friends with, we are still friends now.
Literally.
So yeah, it was the funniest thing to see that out of everybody, she was the only one that was really, really crying. And because she was crying so much, people started to feel like, oh, I actually feel emotional. So it started off with like a little domino effect, and then people did. I was like, why are you guys crying?
Oh my God, my belly.
Why are you all crying? It didn't make a sound. That day, I said, okay, now I know who this person is. I'm not gonna say nothing. When she wants to cry. But yeah, Jen's very emotional.
No, I am.
And it's okay. It's actually okay. There's nothing wrong with it.
It is. Anyway, onto that. Before we start, so I was hearing this. You know what? People need to have shame in public. No, because why are you on the bus and you're just exposing your whole business on the phone?
Oh, yeah. People do that all the time. What did you say?
But it prompted me a thought of, because this girl was talking about money and how she'll like there will be so many things happening to her until she gets to a point where she just sleeps for ages and And it made me think, what was the question I wrote on my phone? Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
It was like the very last thing because it came after. It made me think, how can we make the most of this life that we have? Because the way that this girl was... No, not yet. Yeah, because the way this girl was just describing life, money, da-da-da. And I was like, surely this can't be it.
Yeah.
Like, surely this can't be it. And I'm in two ways about it, because when I asked myself that and I was trying to think of an answer, one came from just being a human and one came from being a believer. From the believer side, because I was listening to Pastor Mike Todd. He's got this series right now about the kingdom. It's actually so good. Like, when you listen to it, it makes sense and it's like, wow. And I was listening to...
I'm a bit half and half with Michael, I'm not gonna lie.
No, I get it.
Yeah.
I've been feeling like that. But this message, it actually makes sense. And I haven't finished watching it, but he was talking about how... because obviously you have the kingdom, which is, heaven and everything, but he was saying that the point of, I guess, earth was so God could expand his kingdom. So obviously initially before Adam and Eve, before they ate the fruit, it was meant to kind of be like a heaven on earth type of thing, and it was like a extension of the kingdom, and obviously everything happened.
Yeah.
And from my perspective of being a believer, and of making the most of the life that we have, the way that I view it is that I'm just expanding the kingdom. Like, the reason why I'm here is to expand the kingdom of God. Whatever purpose he has instilled in me, that's my role. So obviously when we go to heaven and there's a new earth, a new heaven, it's just a continuation of that. But then I started to think of it from just a human perspective. And I was just like, how can we make the most of life? Because the way that, especially in a Western society, the way that there's a certain linear way of living, you go to school, you finish university, you have a job, you have your friends, your social life, you have your family, you settle down, your pension, and that's it. But it's like what can we do to make sure that there's just more to it than just work?
Okay. There's two. Well, I have two answers. There's a collective one, there's an individual one. I feel like the collective answer is just live your life and do what you want. And that way you can live life to the fullest. Because if there's an element of like, I'm doing this because I want to do this, then you're living your life to its fullest. But from an individual perspective, I always go back to this thing: take fear out of the equation. Once fear's out, you really would be your best version of yourself.
100%.
And without fear, you see that people, I don't know if you've ever met someone that has no fear, you can just tell, like, they can literally just, they can sell them, they could, what they're doing might not be the best, but because there's no fear in them,
there's a level of
it's
confidence.
Very convincing. It's like, I believe this because you've said this is correct, and clearly you're very, very convinced about this. Then I feel like from an individual person, for me personally, the way I would say for me to live my best life is to take away the element of fear and do whatever. It's still going back to doing whatever you want to do, but sometimes whatever you want to do, if you're still a bit fearful, you might not do it fully. Me just being able to be like, I'm not fearful. This is what I want to do. I'm going to do it. For me, that's the best way, because then we all have. You be shocked the amount of things that people have thought about, but it's never come to pass. Like they've never done anything towards it because they're just like, well, I'm not good enough anyway. Or I don't have this. Or but that. Why is there a but there? Do it. I'm saying this. I'm not there yet, but like. I know if I get to that stage, that's when I know that yes, I've really arrived, because at this point I'm unstoppable. I can literally do anything and nobody can stop me. Literally no one. So for me, that's one thing I know. For me, if I was to take away completely and be fearless, definitely I would literally live my life to its fullest, because we all have individual life processes. But what tends to happen is, because people are so fearful, it's easier to copy someone else's life journey, because this is what they've done and it's worked. I'd rather stay safe and copy something familiar and copy them, and because that's worked. But if you took fear away from everything, you'd be like, I have things I want to do. Even if it doesn't work, I'm still gonna do it. That's what I mean. Like for me, that's my answer anyway.
No, because I don't have an answer myself, so I'm just like. But I remember I did see it. I think it was a TikTok or a reel where a girl said that it's really important to, kind of linking it to what you're talking about being fearless. It's really important to go out there and live in your purpose, because your purpose could be a defining moment for someone else. Do you know what I mean? Like, like for example, I don't know, I can't think of an example, but for example, like if someone's purpose is to be like a teacher or something, and they allowed fear, their opinions of other people to not get them there, 5 years down the line, there could be someone that needed you as a teacher, that needed your advice, needed your support, that could have been just a life-changing thing for them. But because you decided to let other people's opinions get to you, now you can't be in your purpose, and now there's someone down the line that, however it is that their life has turned out. So I think being fearless and
talking about purpose as well, one thing I've noticed, people feel like purpose has to be this big, grand, saving the world type of thing, and they're like, I don't know my purpose, I don't know. And it's like, you do know your purpose. What do you like doing? It's honestly, sometimes it's not for everybody, because some people is a bit more like very, very, you need to do a lot of discovery, but sometimes it's literally down to what you actually like to do that comes very natural to you. Taking away people watching you or being shy or being fearful, just what if you were to do something right now that you'd be like, this is really, I would love to do this forever and ever, if I wasn't so shy. That's actually your purpose.
Yeah,
that's what I think anyway. Because I've sometimes heard people like, I don't mean, or there's a popular one I always hear, I don't have a talent, I don't know my purpose, and it's like, it's because you're really deep in it too much. Like,
and people think it's something that's meant to bring you some kind of recognition, fame, money.
And it's not that, because like, I remember I said to one of my friends, because she kept saying to me, I don't have a talent. I was like, your talent is being intelligent. You are so, like, this girl helped me throughout my uni degree. She knows herself.
Yeah,
we were housemates. Like, she genuinely helped me, and she saw herself as a person that didn't have talent. It made me, and to me, I was so baffled, because I'm like, you are so intelligent. Like, the way you understand information and absorb information is so different. Like, we would be in the same lectures. Yeah, we both heard the same things.
But you just...
And then she would explain it to me in a different way. I'm like, that's the level of intelligence you have to get to be able to transfer the information in common sense language. Yeah, that's a talent. Because I'm hearing la fu la ra la ru la.
And she's like, well, actually,
and I was like, this is not English.
Yeah.
But then when she broke it down to me, it changed my life completely. Yeah, no, like, everything changed, and I was like, oh my gosh, is that what it was? That's her talent. Yeah. So sometimes your talent could be something that you disregard as like, I'm just good at it. No, not everybody's as good as you in that field or whatever it is. But that's why I just wanted to just add my...
No, it's true. It's true. So guys, if you're in a place where it's like purpose, sometimes remember, it's literally not about, it doesn't have to get you fame, it doesn't have to get you talent, it doesn't have to get you recognition. 100%. It can literally be, you're a teacher, you're a doctor, I don't know, you're meant to, there's an aura about you that helps people, that comes, that can literally be your purpose.
Definitely.
That could literally be your purpose. But speaking purpose, right, so it's my turn today to be smart and deep and think of questions.
Wow.
And I'm calling this an episode of reflection. Ba-da-bam-bam. Thank you. So Favour.
Yeah.
We're going to go back to your childhood.
Okay. Therapist.
Little Favour. How would you describe your childhood?
Okay, so mine, I've had two experiences.
Okay.
So there's my childhood in Nigeria and my childhood here. Mm-hmm. So my childhood in Nigeria is very much, I was very brave. I genuinely thought I was like, no one could do anything to me. I felt like very invincible, strong. I was really bold. Like, I can't explain it. Like, if you ask a lot of my cousins, they'll tell you Favour is that person that I would be like, who? Let's go and beat the person. I was that person.
I was ready to tussle.
And I was so small. I was tiny. But like, the childhood I remember was being very, very like, very free, happy about life. I would say the only thing I sort of I wasn't happy with is because I didn't feel like we had enough. Even though it never felt like we were poor, but I just felt like, when you look at other kids, you're like, oh, they have this, they have that. So I had to be very imaginative and imagine things. So me and my siblings would create different stories, and because we didn't have the stuff that people had, like we didn't have toys and have all of that, we just had to we had ourselves, like, so it's me and my two brothers, so we really had to be very, very creative with what we did, and we wasn't really allowed out as much because our parents were very, very fearful. I don't know why.
It's Nigeria.
I know, but
I would be too.
But we lived in a very secure place, and kids were playing out, but we wasn't allowed to go out. But then now I'm grown, I know why.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of like just messed up things. Yeah. Anyways, then it didn't feel nice. So I had to like, I would be like, oh, I want to go and buy something. So that was the only time I was allowed to leave my house. So I'll take that opportunity and meet all my friends.
On the way
I'll
to
go
the shops.
to everyone's house and I'll be like, oh yeah, I'm just passing by, and I'll stay there and then I'll come back and my dad will be like,
where have you been?
Where did you go to? And I will make up anything. But yeah, my childhood when I was in Nigeria was amazing in that sense, but it wasn't amazing in the sense of like not having enough. There's a lot more, but I'm not gonna expose my life on the internet.
No.
Because sometimes people don't actually know that some people didn't have anything. Like,
it's true. Just like, because you see them now, you don't know what.
Yeah, we didn't have. Yeah, anyways. So, but I've always been, even though we didn't have much, I feel like my parents and my siblings, we just made the best of what we had. So we didn't really feel bored, which is funny, but we were really, we didn't really have anything. Literally, we didn't have anything, but we were able to just get by. And I think that's something that's stayed with me for even till now. That even when I have money, I don't feel the need to overspend. I have this ability to just keep and save, because I'm like, I'm not that pushed to buy so much stuff, because I'm okay without having it. Because anyways, so that's my childhood in Nigeria. Now I'm moving to England. Boy, I hated it.
I'm not surprised.
The imagination I had of here was gonna be amazing. Yeah. I thought you'd be walking on gold. Like honestly, man, these people are liars. They sold you. They sold me dreams. So I got
stepping on people's spitting bird.
Disgusting. But anyways, got here now, and it was just a shock of like, what the hell? Like, what the hell is this? Initially, when I first came, I was so happy to see everything because I was finally happy to see that be with my mum again and all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
But after that, after the whole excitement phase is gone, I was like, what the hell is this?
What is this ghetto country?
And it's like, I'm looking at people, I just didn't get them. And they didn't get me. I'm looking at you, you're looking at me, and I'm like...
We see each other.
And then I became so quiet because I didn't understand how to... Like, I didn't understand what was going on. Like, I understood I was in a different country, but it was very... just the behaviours of people was very different. So I was used to just being able to do whatever I want to do. If I want to fight someone, I'm going to fight them. If I want to be... Like, there was no restrictions. Whereas here is like, I'm telling Miss Sophie what I'm telling Miss. Why are you telling Miss for? We could just fight now. You don't
need to involve them. It's between me and you.
Everything's just like...
So basically, everyone here was a coward.
Very weird. So I just thought, okay, I have to readjust now because I can't be going around just being very like the typical Favour. Not just being people like just. It was just very different. Yeah. And there was a very interesting way that, and I wouldn't say I got bullied, but I would say the whole everyone gets teased when you have the African accent. Yeah. So in year 6, but with me, because I was so quiet. They really didn't know what else to do. So in the first, I remember the first few weeks, they would try to like mimic the way I would say things. After that, I was like, okay, I'm not going to say nothing. So I became so quiet. Yeah. And then they didn't know what else to say to me. So they were trying to make me speak and they would come and speak to me. So it's like, the teasing didn't last very long because they're like, what the hell? This girl's not speaking to us.
We can't mimic silence.
Like, I can't. So then I found people that they were trying to like get me to speak to them. And when I would go home, they didn't know that I was a talkative. But to them, my teachers would always say to my mom, like, oh, this girl is so quiet. Very well behaved.
And your mum's looking at you like,
Mum is like, which girl is well behaved and quiet? She didn't get it. She was so confused. But it got me far. Like I was getting all these awards for different things for being the best student, but that's because I didn't speak. How do you honestly? That's all it was.
No, it is.
I didn't speak about anything. So wherever they said I said yes and no. That's it. I was so peaceful. Like if you speak to me, that person you can speak to for hours and just. That was me. So girls would come to me and rant about things and I'll be like, And they're like, oh, thank Favour. And they'll take me with them. Because I didn't say anything. So they honestly couldn't understand that. That was the way I escaped teasing, kind of. Yeah. Them kids are...
kids are horrible.
Kids are demons.
No, they're actually horrible.
I would say, like, coming to England, it wasn't what I expected. And my childhood, I feel like that little phase kind of altered my personality. So then it made me feel confused of who I actually was. So I wasn't sure if I was still the same bold person I was before coming. Now that I'm really quiet now and I'm like, I don't know what this is, but it's like I was also so quiet because I was trying to understand. And because have you heard Birmingham accent?
Hey, I heard one on the bus today. I said she was talking about something, and I just immediately assumed she was racist because you're talking a lot and you're saying they. I can't tell if it's you're being actually racist or if it's the accent.
Yeah. So there was racist. That. Like I genuinely was trying to understand what they were saying. So it's like there's so many things, man. Just readjusting. So it really affected who I was. Like the favourite I was before coming was not the same person. And I feel like it took a while to eventually slowly get to myself. Because even in secondary school, I feel like you guys didn't really get the full version of me. I was still very much like, keep to myself, just stay low-key. Even though staying low-key didn't work, because like once they knew I could sing, it was over for me. That was it.
Favour.
So until year 7, year 8, year 9, I was still chilling. Because that's the life that I was used to now. I'm not used to being a talkative person unless you're my friend. So now I've adjusted to being that person. It's like, I only talk to you a lot if you're my friend. If you're not my friend, I'm not really speaking. Yeah. But I wasn't always like that. When I was younger, what? I'll talk to anybody and anybody. Everyone knew me. Yeah. I was that kid that was, I don't know if you've seen little kids that are just doing the most. That was me. Like I was, every auntie, I was their daughter. That's how much I was so involved. And I would get free things. I was that kid that was very much, auntie. And I would go to your house with boldness. And say, auntie, I just want to get my hair done. And she would do my hair for free. That's the type of child I was. So to go from that and being very quiet, it was just weird.
It was a big contrast.
But I knew I was quiet, but I didn't know how to even speak anymore. It's like after you've been quiet for so long, it was hard for me to even change and be a talkative person. So I feel like my childhood really altered my personality, to be fair. Yeah, the transition was weird.
Are you going to ask me the question?
What was the question?
That was one.
How would you describe your childhood? What aspect? Okay. How would you describe your childhood?
You are eager today, aren't you? Mm-hmm. How would I describe Jen's childhood? I think that I went through, I don't want to say multiple, but I definitely went through identity crises.
Yeah.
Crises?
Crisis is not correct.
Crisis.
Just crisis.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
So obviously I lived in Spain for about 5 years, which was great. I mean, obviously when you're young, you don't really perceive the negatives, and you don't really fully understand like the racism and the discrimination, all of that stuff. From my experience, I had fun. I was like, this is cool. I had identity crisis because where we were based, because when I think about it now, it is quite a very, like, you do have your what's the right word? Immigrants, ethnics, foreigners, what would you call it? I don't even know.
They're all, it's what it is, man. You can say whatever you
non-Spanish
want to say.
people. There are
ethnic minorities.
Ethnic minorities, but it is a very white populated city. And so for me, I remember there was a time where, because obviously, like I said in one of the episodes, we lived like in a place run by nuns. I was literally like, I want to be white. I am sick and tired of being a black girl because everyone else is white. I get treated differently. And I remember like the mum was like, no, but Jen, like you're beautiful the way that you are. Like, look, your palms are white. I said, what's this? It's not enough. I want my entire body to be white. And my school as well, there wasn't that many black people. There was me, there was a mixed race kid in my class. And I remember our pastor's kids went there, but they were older, so I didn't really have that much interaction. And then I remember my first ever racist experience. I was baffled. I said, what is this? I genuinely don't know what's going on. Like, why am I being attacked because the guy called me poo. He said I was a monkey. He told me to go back to where I came from. And I was just like, what did I actually do?
I'm trying not to laugh.
Right, we're ending the episode because my trauma, and you want to laugh.
No, do you know what?
Wow, we're ending the episode, guys. My trauma. What is so funny about being called poo, monkey? Go back to your country.
It's never the monkey person. The guy called me poo. Okay, Jen. No, that's terrible.
No.
Yeah.
And I remember...
How dare you call Jen
and
poo?
The thing is, I remember this so clearly. I said, but your breath smells crap and you're telling me I am poo.
No, it's usually the worst people that can tell you because they're projecting in it.
And the thing, when I think back at it, he was only I think I must have been like nursery reception. He was only in the year above me. So to think that someone that young was already saying those things is mad. So yeah, so I was having a whole identity crisis in Spain, and then we moved here, and it was like, I don't know, it was fascinating to see the variety of different people.
Okay.
It was fascinating. I definitely did feel a lot more comfortable here than I did in Spain in regards to like my identity, but it was hard because when I came, I didn't know a single word of English. So for me, it was, I had to communicate through
sign language.
Yeah.
That's all you have to say.
I had to communicate. And I remember there was a time where I think I created a Lego and it broke somehow, but I didn't know how to express that my toy has been broken, like who did it, like what's happened. And I just cried, and the teacher was like, oh no, it's... And I remember sitting, is this appropriate? I can't remember. I remember sitting on the teacher's lap. It was a man. I don't know if it was appropriate.
Mate, the amount of things that happened in my primary school. I'm gonna come back to that one.
But, and I just remember, like, that was the only way I could express, was just through my, maybe that's why I'm emotional, through my emotions, because nobody, even through doing this, nobody could understand me. So I had to cry for people to be like, for people to be like, oh, okay, so she's upset about her toy. So there was coming here, not being able to like properly express myself, and then just the way that British schools work, compared to being in Spain, I was like, wow,
mate, it's completely different.
I said, wow. Wow. But yeah, I think my childhood was a lot of just trying to figure out who I am, what I am. And then I remember us saying in a previous episode how we internalize what people have said about us. So I feel like through my through my trying to discover who I am and trying to settle into a new country, and obviously like you said, you just become quiet and reserved. I guess that's where people got my reservedness from.
Yeah, same. No, mine. I know mine definitely wasn't natural because the version I am at home. I get you. You're more comfortable. You speak to people when you're more comfortable with them. But there's a difference where you're just completely silent. That's almost like, I think they call it selective mutism. Yeah, it's like you can speak, but you go like. There's silent. I wasn't saying anything. That's when you know this is a problem. Like I'm not even able to express when I'm not happy with something or when I am happy with something. Like it's almost like I don't have a voice. Yeah, boy, that's not good. That's not good.
Next question. Should I ask this question? I don't know. What aspects of being young do you miss?
That's the thing. I don't miss being young in England, not gonna lie.
Okay.
Hated it.
Okay.
I'll say I miss being young in Nigeria. The aspect I miss is being just so free and feeling like I can do anything. Slowly I got that back, but it took a while though. I'll call it silent confidence that you can do anything. Like you don't have to say it, but I just always felt like, Favour can do it. Like if you can do it, I can do it. Like I've always felt, but when I was younger, but I kind of lost it along the way. So I would say I missed that aspect because having that made me explore a lot when I was younger. I was that kid that was like speaking to different people. I don't know. I just love the freedom of going to different places and knowing when to run away when there's danger. Like I was just very free. Like I was free, but I wasn't stupid. Yeah. Like I love that freedom of just doing whatever you want, and there was I didn't feel like
you weren't limited by stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't need money, I don't need nothing. I have myself. I can do anything. And I did a lot. Like I was that kid. But that's something I miss.
Is there something you wish was different that would have had a different outcome now? So do you wish that there's something that in your childhood that was done differently or had happened or hadn't happened that you feel like would have given you a different outcome now? If that makes sense.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna completely share that on the internet.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
No, I'm joking.
Oh.
What I would say is,
make up your mind, Favour.
No, one thing I would say that it would have made. Then again, I'm conflicted though. I would say money, like, because we wasn't rich, like.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up being rich, but that kind of made me be like right now. I feel like if I didn't have that, would I be as driven?
Okay.
So I'm not sure if I want to take that out. Do you get what I'm trying to say? It would have been nicer if I had that, because then like when I hear people talk about their families going on like family holidays, like we didn't have that. I didn't have family holidays. Like, mate, we could just afford to just live. Family holiday? What the hell?
What is that?
My first holiday, I took myself with my friends. Yeah. And it was I loved that accomplishment of feeling like, I sponsored this holiday myself. That this is I worked for this and this is my money. Yeah. But would it be easier if I had rich parents? And yes,
I mean, I think most people would say yes to that.
Anyway. But it's like the reason I say I'm conflicted because like it sort of shaped my personality,
your perspective on life.
So I don't know if I want to take it out. If I want to have right now, I don't want to be no. But if I was younger, would I want it? I don't know, because it made me like think outside the box and not be so like.
Yeah, I'm thinking that because I feel like because you made do with what you had and you used your imagination, like you never felt like you were lacking.
Yeah, like especially me and my brothers, we would always create like fake scenarios and different things. And thinking about when people have money, then you don't have to create those scenarios. You can just go and see it. You just have it. Yeah. So that's what I'm like. I don't know if I want that, but I know my life would have been easier. Yeah. There's a lot of things that happened that just was all centered around money. Like we had no issues. Money was the only problem. Yeah. So I don't know. Yeah.
And you know what? I'd say your family is you guys are good, man. Yeah. No, you guys are good. So it's a positive thing. I would say the only thing that I can think of is that I wish that I wouldn't say that my creativeness was suppressed, because because I was an only child, I was able to be creative. Like, I remember the way I used to dance in my room, the way I used to act, the way I used to write songs, guys. I used to sit there and I was a songwriter. Singer-songwriter is what I was. But I do wish that there's certain parts of my creativity that I wish my mom would have allowed me to be free with and explore. So, for example, with my acting, I feel like if she allowed me to just kind of like delve into that and express myself, I think then maybe, who knows where I would be right now. Also, another thing, I was complaining to my mum the other day. I'm sick and tired. This is why I'm going to be very careful. I'm sick and tired of adults doing things selfishly and not thinking about their offspring. Because I said to my mum, if my dad had taken his football career seriously, I would be a nepo baby. I would be a nepo baby.
Turn it off.
I would actually be a nepo baby.
Oh, wow.
No, I need you to actually deep it. Guys, if my dad had taken his football, because I think he was signed to like 2-3 different clubs, right? Imagine if he signed to more, richer, more money. He took it seriously. By now, he obviously would be retired, but he'd still have money. I would be a nepo baby. I would be somewhere. I could be an influencer. My acting career, I could have done something with it, but no, because he...
So, are you saying the same thing as me then? You need money?
It's not money, it's my dad.
I'm confused.
No, if he had taken his football career, if he didn't ruin it, I would be in a different position.
But isn't that money?
Yeah, but it's my dad and his football career.
Oh my goodness. But,
I could be a nepo baby.
I thought you were going to actually be serious about
it. And I'm being dead serious. So there's basically this, there's a really famous singer in Congo called, what's his name? Kofi Olomide.
That name already, boy.
Say again. Kofi Olomide.
Wow.
He actually broke up with his wife recently, and his daughter, because he took his career seriously, you know that concert Beyonce did in Dubai, she got invited. She even wore a liputa on the red carpet. She wore traditional Congolese material on the red carpet, and I said, because your dad took his career seriously, you can do that. What am I doing?
Exactly, what are you doing?
I'm sick and tired of it.
Right, no, what exactly are you doing?
I'm tired.
If I talk.
How are you, Favour?
I'm good.
How are you really?
I'm very good.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm. How are you?
I'm fighting. Okay, so what would you say, now we're in the present, what would you say you have done that you feel proud of?
Okay, this is a bit not difficult for me, but I feel like it's really hard for me to feel proud of things that I do, because like, to me, I don't see it as, it's not that deep.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'm being serious. I get most
it.
things that happen, I'm just like, it's just part of the things I have to do. So I don't really. But let me try and think. Okay, I'll say I'm more proud of the fact that I'm slowly going back to my outspoken self.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's taken a while, but now I'm just like, yeah, man, I'm tired of. I feel like I was pretending. You guys didn't know me. Tired. I'm
now you see
tired of pretending, and I love that for myself, because it's so the relief. When I feel like, if I say what I want to say, you're not gonna beat me. Okay, I'll tell you. Like, I don't know what I thought before, but I feel like if I said certain things, it will offend people. I don't know where I got that from.
Yeah.
But now it's like, of course, I'm not going around offending people. But like, if you ask me something for my opinion, I would honestly tell you my opinion. Mm-hmm. And having that side of me coming back slowly is something that I'm really proud of, because I've realized I don't just have it with certain people. I have it with anybody that speaks to me, and I'm like, okay, so this is really back now. Like, you're really this person. Yeah. So that I guess. Would you
say the podcast has contributed to it?
Yes, definitely. Because now I'm not. Because before the podcast, I don't do voice notes. I still don't do voice notes.
No.
So to me, doing this is crazy.
Like, and the fact that you actually edit the audio as well.
Yeah, I edit the sound. No, it's actually crazy. I don't like. I hate hearing my own voice. Yeah. I don't like speaking. So doing all of this, definitely, because then that element is gone now. Like, I've done it now. People, the way I sound is not that deep. Like, just speak.
Yeah.
So that element is gone, but there's still other parts of me. So I'll say yes, I'm proud. Okay, I'm proud of the podcast.
Yeah.
I'm proud of being closer to the version of myself that I know that I am. I'm proud of, I don't know.
Yeah. Good job. I would say I don't know either, because I feel like a lot of, and I'm constantly saying this, but a lot of my defining years of my life, it's been given to other people. So I feel like what I've been doing, it hasn't necessarily been for me. It's just been for others.
Yeah.
So I feel like I haven't even I remember I had an interview once, and the person was like, so what are you proud of? The only thing I could think of was I graduated.
I was gonna say that, but then I
it's not.
Like, no, man.
It's actually not.
No, I'm not using that example.
It's actually not, because I was happy that I graduated, but it was more of oh god, it's over. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think I've still got I've got plenty of time to do something to be proud of. What would 15-year-old Favour think of you now? What would they think and say?
Oh my gosh, she was so happy and proud.
Yeah.
15, I was going through so many identity crises. I was all over the place. I was bold but quiet but reserved. It was everywhere.
Was a lot, yeah.
Because I don't know if you know, but I had my first fashion show when I was 14. Was it 15? I had 2 fashion shows. I had one before. Basically, so when I was younger, I was that person that I actually hosted 2 fashion shows. I don't know if you guys knew. But the second one, I told you guys, and I was trying to get people to come.
I think so. I think you did a lot of things.
Yes, I remember. So. But like, so it's like that side of me was there. Like I was that person, like, and I was even doing the whole. I was going to London every
weekend.
I went to London like 3 times a week because I was part of the. Yeah. That was when I was 13. So when I say that when I was younger, I was reserved. But I was still very bold. Like so, it didn't make that. I was very confused. Like it's like I would do grand stuff, but if you spoke to me, I didn't really have much to say.
Yeah. That is a whole identity crisis.
Like, it was very weird. Like, I was that person that would do, like, I was on TV shows, I was here, I was there.
I remember that.
I was literally in, like, a full-on competition, and I had my whole family travelling out.
You were, like, 4th place, isn't it?
Yeah. And I was the youngest contestant. I was doing a lot. Like, I was that person.
She was that girl.
But then if you came to me and I was very much like...
Don't talk to me.
You talk too much, like... Unless I got comfortable, then I would really. But I was very quiet. They were like, "She's so quiet," and my parents didn't get it. They're like, "Who is quiet?"
Not my daughter.
So
not my Favour.
15-year-old me would be like, "I'm so happy that you're finally merging both element of yourself more, and people starting to see that side of you. Like, it's good to work in silence. I was that person. I would do things in silence. I would only tell people freely because I don't think you guys even knew that I was going to London 3 times a week.
I knew.
In year 8, I was going to London 3 times a week. Like, I had the actual driver that would drive me. I'll go London and come back, get ready and come to school.
I knew. Could you tell me?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Guys, the amount of boyfriends and husbands this girl had a story. Jen, I think I'd be like, me.
Is that how you want to expose me on it?
Well, anyway.
Guys, I do not know what she's talking about. I deny everything she said. Okay. But yeah, so I'll be so proud of myself. Short and sweet. Yeah.
What do you want to ask me the question? This works both ways, Favour.
So... what did you ask me?
The 15-year-old question.
Where is it? There. Wait, let me Okay. What would your nah man, didn't we wrote down...
Okay, then you rephrase it there.
Okay, I'll rephrase it because I don't understand how you've written it. So, okay. If you were to look back
to rephrase a couple of sentences. Okay. Back.
Your 15-year-old self.
Yes.
Looking back at you now, how would your 15-year-old self feel about who you are now?
I think 15-year-old Jen would be in disbelief because I feel like... So when I was 15, that was when I was depressed and time and life was very dark for me. And I genuinely could not. I don't even think I could see myself at this point. So I think if 15-year-old me was to look at Jen, they'd be like, number 1, why do you talk so much? Number 2, you have another sibling. Where do they come from?
Oh yeah.
Literally. Yeah. So that means more work for you. They'd probably be like, how did you get from where 15-year-old me, where I am, to where you are? Like, you have a podcast, you have I don't know, I feel like my life is just so different that I feel like I would be in disbelief.
Is that really me?
Like, literally. Because even then, like, for me, church, I wouldn't say it was a chore, but it was just something I never really enjoyed going. Like, I just, like, it'd be like, oh, it's Sunday.
It was a chore. You hated going
Okay,
to
yeah,
church.
so it was a chore. Sorry, God, but it was a chore. But
at that stage,
yeah. But if I was to look at myself, I'm like, oh my God, you enjoy church. You're part of a ministry. You open the door for people. You sit people down. You know God. Honestly, I think that if 15-year-old me was to look at me now, they'd honestly be like, who is this?
And you're still friends with the same people.
Literally.
No, but I don't think sometimes. I don't think, like, you know how people talk about relationships and you realize that sometimes the reason why relationships are so difficult is because the lack of communication is just complicated. Because when we deep it's been so many years, but it doesn't feel like there's no element of feeling bored or not knowing what to say. It's literally been the same way. Yeah, it has been since ever. Like, it hasn't changed at all. So that element is not everybody has that, you know. To consistently still have something to say. Every time I see Jen, I still know there's something to say. That's actually crazy.
No, it is.
Have you thought about that? Like, wait, hold on.
Like, okay, so
you never ever get bored of, like, saying stuff to this one person every time.
It's mad.
That's actually crazy.
It's crazy
because it's been, like, especially the fact that we've been friends since year 7.
So 11 years old, we're 26. So that's
15 years.
Wow.
Exactly.
That is mad.
And it doesn't feel
we
like...
have been talking for 15 years.
And the thing is, we've gone through so much. And it still doesn't feel like... It's like, when you think about the memories, it's very, very, like, muddled up. And it's like... It doesn't feel like a long time, but when you actually deep it, it's literally a very long time.
It's a very long time.
So yeah, that's something that 15 years... I was shocked, man. I'm like, I'm still friends with them?
Yeah. Because the thing is, when you're friends with someone, sometimes you don't really think about like the future in that way. Because I'm not gonna lie, there have been people that I've been friends with, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna be friends with them forever. Like, we're gonna have kids together, married together.
Nah, I'm opposite, you know.
Really?
I usually feel like I have friends, but they're seasonal.
Oh, not seasonal.
No, like, I feel like when I go through this stage, or maybe I move out of this country, we wouldn't have that same friendship anymore. Yeah. Whereas you lot from school, I feel like absolutely nothing. We were literally even if I traveled
parts of the country,
and we were
one
still
point,
there was that's not so that's not something I have with a lot of people. Like, there's people in uni that I was friends with. I don't talk to them now, and I knew that was gonna happen. Because like, you know, you just know, like, some friendship has an expiry date. Yeah. I'm shocked that. To me, I thought after secondary school, bye. Yeah. And the fact that, I still wanted to, I was like, okay, this is not the same. This is different.
A whole podcast. Like, we're actually doing something, not even just like spending time, but we're actually doing something that we're putting our effort and energy into.
That's why it's different. Like, but our 15-year-old will be proud, boy.
No, they would.
Very proud, because we really are doing it.
We really
mad.
Are.
Oh, you want a question?
The last section now, the future. 35-year-old Favour.
Oh God. I don't think I want to say that one.
What does that look like? 35 years. No, you have to answer.
No, man.
You have to answer.
But you answer first then.
I don't know. Okay, 35-year-old Jen, what does that look like for me? 35. The thing is, it's actually going to come quick, you know.
No, it's not that. I know exactly what I want.
Okay.
I just don't want to tell the internet.
Move, man.
You can share yours.
Why?
Share yours then.
But why are you so afraid of?
No, you share yours. Now think about if I want to share mine. Excuse me. I'm just sick and tired, man.
35-year-old Jen. Wow. In 10 years' time. I actually don't know.
You asked the question.
I thought it would be a good question, but because I thought you would answer boldly, confidently.
No, I'm not telling you guys.
I don't know.
All I know is in 10 years, actually it's not even 10 years, 9 years now, bloody hell. But I would be in a better place.
100%.
Financially,
100%.
Mentally,
100%.
Spiritually,
100%.
Physically.
100%.
Because I feel like, talking about physically, I'm getting fine now. I've been getting fine now. The older I've been getting, I'm like,
you are that girl.
So yeah, all of that, all the good stuff. I don't want to see any stress. Anyone that looks like stress, anything that looks like stress, I destroy you.
Get out. I don't want you.
I don't want you. I don't want any stress.
No, it's true.
So basically, in more years to come, just overall general improvement. Every single thing that I have now, just a better version of that, and more, even more, basically.
Okay, well, we don't have an answer for that. Sorry, guys. Being a firstborn, is there specific things that you'll do or not do from what you've observed?
What do you mean, though?
I was on the bus writing this, so I haven't really had time to really articulate my questions.
In what sense, though?
Listen, anything. As okay, so obviously this is for the future.
Yeah.
So is there anything that you have seen, observed, maybe from your parents, just from other adults, that as a firstborn, from the knowledge and experience that you have, that you just like, no, I'm not going to do that.
I'm not going to do that in my own family, or just
in whatever aspect.
Okay. If being a firstborn, I feel like something I would I'm gonna do was something I would do and not do.
Yeah.
So something I would definitely do is still implement the element of being friends with your kids. I feel like some people find that really weird. It's like, I'm the parent, I don't want to be friends. It works, man.
Yeah.
Your kids need to be comfortable with you. It literally eliminates a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Because if they can't speak to you, they're going to speak to somebody else. I'd rather know everything that's going on with my child than hearing it from a random stranger. So yes, be my friend. Be my friend with respect, but be my friend. So I'll definitely be. I love that with my parents, like being most especially my mom, being able to just tell her anything and absolutely nothing, and not feel like this one's gonna judge me. She can judge, but it doesn't affect me. African parents, you know what I mean? It's not coming from a place of like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's good intention.
Yeah.
So just having that ability to be comfortable with my parents, 100%, and having that trust that they have with me as being the firstborn, I will definitely implement that. I'm not going to implement stress. Don't stress me. I'm not going to stress my child. Please, my child is a child.
No, that's true.
I am not going to do that. That's that part. Not doing it. Not doing it at all, because it doesn't make sense. Because that child they have their own, like, he or she has their own life. Like, why am I making them feel like, oh, because you came first? Did I choose myself? Did I choose myself? I saw all of you. It doesn't make sense.
I came out and saw life.
I came out
and so
I just saw people.
Yeah.
So it's almost like, because God put me first, I must carry. No, I must not. I disagree with that.
100%.
So that element of feeling, you're in charge. I'm not in charge. I'm not in charge. I am not in charge. I'm not having that. Not having it. So that. I'm not going to make my child feel like they're carrying the responsibility of being in the family. Like, no, you're a child as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's mainly it. I'm just going to be very mindful of knowing that, even though I know it's almost human nature to treat your kids differently based on their position, that's natural, but not overdo it.
Yeah.
Not always remind them, you're the first child, you're okay.
I came out first, so the sperm seed connected first, so.
Why you have to go into that detail, man? What if people don't know about sperms and stuff?
How old is our audience?
Could be little kids watching. Guys,
God forbid.
Don't listen to her.
You came from a bird.
We don't get created through sperms. We get created by mom and dad being happy, and then ta-da!
Anyway, my answer. Definitely what you said about, I think, allowing your children to be children.
Yes, man.
100%.
It's needed.
Because I was so basically, the relationship between the middle and the last child, they'll have beef. I don't know why you guys have beef. No, I said to Ellie, this personal beef that you have with your brother,
it's real.
Like, no, because it's like when Jaden was first born, even before he was born, Ellie would be the one that would help my mum. He'd always be there. He was Jaden. Then all of a sudden there was a switch. There's literally a personal beef. I don't know where it's come from. I said, he's 7 years younger than you. I need you to realise that your development and mentality and perspective, he is not at that stage. So you can't be treating him like he's 1 year young and trying to fight him. Like, why are you trying to tussle a 5-year-old? And the way that you treat him. So I feel like me having that conversation with Ellie made me realise that because sometimes I do that with my brothers as well. I put this expectation of like clean the house. I want the house to be clean. I don't want to be the one to clean the house all the time. So I've created a rota, but I then have to realise that, you know what? If there are days where they take ages to clean or they don't want to clean, I was exactly the same. So I don't know why I keep trying to push my expectations on them when they're kids. They just want to be on their phones and stuff. So I think for me, when it comes to my family and my children, 100%, I'm going to let them be children.
Yeah.
Just let them develop. Let them be children. one thing that I won't do is, I haven't thought about this. What won't I do? I think that I haven't thought about it.
Break my phone.
You know what? Because I used to do it with my phone.
Yeah, break it. Do you want me to help you bend it a bit?
No, it's alright. Okay. It's a habit. I don't know what. I think there's a lot of things that I won't do, but I can't really think of them right now because I feel like it's just an ongoing thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely. I think another thing that I would definitely do as an adult is, for myself, I'm definitely gonna try to not be so reactive and emotional.
Okay.
Because I've seen that in my parents, and I've seen how it gets them to certain situations, whether it's with each other, socially, with the family. And when I look at it from an outside perspective, I'm like, have you not learnt? So I think that's the thing. I'm going to be very intentional with my self-reflection and self-awareness.
Okay.
Because I think that's something that a lot of the older African generation, they don't do or have.
And the thing is, I'm constantly having to, which is why I always say this, I feel like I'm lucky. I'll speak to mom yesterday, I was saying to her, like, just the way we speak, not everyone does that. Yeah. Because she was shocked, she was listening to our podcast. Woo! And she's like, people don't speak to their moms for 5 years? That's the only part she heard,
Oh, really?
And I was like, Mom, there's some people that have that, they don't have a great relationship with their parents. Yeah. And it could be from the child, it could be from the parent, but it's still broken, the relationship with and she was so shocked to realize that there's people that do. She's like, what can make you not speak to your own parents that are still alive? And to her, she finds it crazy. I'm like, it's real life. Like, not everybody has the ability to just speak to their kids and be open. Yeah. Especially when I'm giving her correction, she's not like, I'm the mom, don't tell me not what to do. Yeah. I tell her things like, and she'd be like, okay, even like she would acknowledge and be like, okay, that's fine. Yeah, she might repeat it. I'm not gonna lie.
But at least you've given and she's giving you the space to.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. I'm okay with her acknowledging that she's done wrong, and that's it. And I know she's gonna repeat it sometimes, but I'm just like, it is what it is. But not everyone can even tell their parents to go wrong. Like, I can't really. My dad is a bit different, but now he's a lot better now. I can actually kind of vocalize when he's in the wrong. Before, my dad was never wrong with anything, but now he's getting better.
I'll do it indirectly. When you just talk into the air, but you want them to, that's me.
So that side is, honestly, I love that. Like, being able to take corrections. I would want my kids to have that with me, man.
100%.
Because it's very important. Because I feel like in our heads, most people feel like they're perfect. Not perfect, but like it's hard to see. It's hard to see where you're wrong. Like, I can't see where I'm wrong unless you tell me. And if you're not comfortable enough to tell me, you end up seeing people that you look at and you're thinking, why are you so bad? And has anyone? So no one told you. And sometimes no one has actually told them that your behavior actually stinks.
It's mad.
It's actually very smelly. Like, why do you behave like that? And I understand, because if you don't have people being honest with you around you, it's hard to reflect and be like, this is a side of me that needs to be improved on. Yeah. And even, I don't know, but you guys don't really tell me stuff. My parents tell me about things I need to improve on.
Like, my mum, I remember once back when I was doing makeup tutorials on the YouTube, and after I did it, my mum looked at me and she said, oh, okay. I got annoyed. I got pissed off. I was like, I have spent time. You know that video where I did it and then I did it again the next day. Yeah. It was that one, and I was just like, sorry, and I got so offended. And my mum was like, you find it really hard to take criticism. Yeah. And I was just like, oh, I do. Yeah. But I feel like, would my friends ever tell me that?
True.
So I agree with you that, you have to have that relationship with your parents where they can tell you
complete truth,
and they'll be like, calm down.
Yeah, it's not deep.
Like, for example, like my mum, I told her the other day, and I can kind of understand where she's coming from, but her delivery sometimes it's wrong. Yeah. And like, there'll be certain things that I'll be like, involving like church or maybe something to do with my personal relationship with God. And she'll look at me and she'll chime in and she'll be like, And I remember one time I said to her, Mom, I understand that, the pastor that you're listening to and going to, I'm not saying he's wrong. I'm sure God is using him right and all of this stuff, but you need to stop putting him on such a high pedestal where you're taking in everything that he's saying and then trying to pass it on to other people, because now you're acting like you know more and you're better when you're not. I said to her, you need to stop just stop trying to believe that you know. Like, I understand, obviously my mum's always been a woman of faith and she's, you know, she's got that really good relationship with God, but I said, because of who you're going to and listening to, there's this there's this superiority that you feel like you have whenever I talk about my church and what I'm doing with God, when that's not the case. Like, all of us, we're literally on the same journey. We're still learning, we're still growing, we're still developing. What I am doing, if I feel like that's coming from pure intentions and I feel like that's what God's calling me to do, let me do that. You may not see that it's right, but it's me and God. Because I was telling her about my fasting. She's like, no, Genevieve, fasting is when you want to stop doing something bad and you go to God and you say, I want to stop. And I was like, yeah, but my intention behind fasting is not because I'm doing something bad, it's because I'm seeking God. I want to hear him, and you're coming here all da da da. And I said to her, Mum, you need to humble yourself, because you can't keep coming to me saying your church this da 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 da. And it's like, when I know the right intentions. So yeah, man, like
I do know, I love that as well, because it clearly shows the old generation and the new generation of Christianity. It's like sometimes the old generation feel like, what these little kids doing? Yeah, they don't know what they're doing. They're just dancing in church, dancing, and you're like, I'm sorry, like just because you guys all sat down and just looked at each other and not said, and didn't all wear scarves and didn't wear no makeup, didn't wear earrings. Oh, I don't want to sin. I don't want to. Sorry, that was your time, and even the Bible is very much in context. Your time. In that context, it made sense to behave that way. Right now, no, it doesn't.
It actually doesn't.
So I see people doing, I'm thinking, you honestly do what you have to do because that's your journey, but don't even try to disturb me.
No,
don't try to project that onto me or make me feel like I'm doing less because you're doing. Who told you that's moving more holy? Oh, please.
No, I said to Mum, please, I beg, humble yourself. Like, unless God has said to you, Jen, what you're doing, no, like, tell your daughter what she's doing is wrong, then I'll accept it. But you're coming to me based off what you're hearing, and I'm not denying that he's a man of God, but because all of them, they're all adults. They're literally 40, 50, 60. Like, let me be in my youth and enjoy my time.
You can barely relate to what's happening right now. Like,
please,
it's not.
Even when I was trying to convince her to come to the crossover service, and I was like, "There's even going to be a concert after." She was like, "But how do you know if those people are actually singing for God? Maybe they're just rapping." Favour, when I tell you, I got so annoyed. Yeah. Because I was like,
it's long. There's no point explaining. Yeah.
I said, you know what? I don't want you to come anyway.
Yeah, but
anyway, guys, I feel like we've been chatting.
Yeah, we have. It's definitely just so many things to unpack.
There is, but
I really hope you guys really enjoyed this, because I feel like I was actually quite open. Me talking about my childhood, like, that's not something that comes to, like, I don't tell everyone this. I'm not the person that'll be like, oh guys, when I was younger. Like, the thing is, you know, a lot of people go through a lot, and not everyone expresses what they've been through. Even what I was saying, this is a very diluted version. Like, I've been through a lot. Yeah. Like, actual real life problems that was really difficult. So it's like this, I'm happy I'm able to open up small. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you guys so much for listening to this week's episode. We hope that from beginning to end, from me crying to me ranting to Favour opening,
very emotional.
I'm exhausted.
I love it.
I'm exhausted. We hope that it gives you a different perspective of us. We hope that it's a reflection for you guys. Because we chatted so much, the phone died.
But yeah, we just wanted to say bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching and listening to us.
Thank you. We'll see you next episode. Bye.
Bye.
Hey. We have chatted.